stationery and you're here because you want to draw all over some amazing stationery, then you're in the right place. I thought it was about time I did a stationery haul, since I use stationery in almost every video. And I figure if you subscribe to my channel, you either love to pause and reflect and have a bit of mindfulness in your day, or you love bullet journaling, or you love stationery. So finally, I have a stationery haul. I've built up lots of bits over the last few months that brands have sent to me or things that I've bought myself. And I've used a couple of the things in my recent videos, so I'm sure you'll spot those. But there's a bunch of it that I just haven't had the chance to use yet and show you, so I'll do that in this video. I'll start with some notebooks. I was sent some lovely notebooks by this company called Journalier. And Journalier in French translates to daily, so very suitable for bullet journaling. It comes in this nice black box. And the interesting thing about this one is that it's 120 GSM and it has different themes. So there's two different themes, aspiration and courage. And they look like this. They have a really nice print on the front and the back, which is just so different compared to a plain bullet journal. So I really like that you have this really nice print, and it's faux leather, which is good, really nice and soft, and it's just so pretty. And it's A5. And dot grid, of course. You're probably used to crisp white pages, and this is a bit different because the pages are like an ivory cream colour, which is quite nice actually. It makes me want to sit down and write some poetry. I even watched some YouTube videos on how to write poetry because I really got in the mood to write poetry when I saw this. And it also kind of makes you want to do some freestyle traditional journaling where you just jot down your thoughts with a nice fountain pen or something. There's page numbers if you like that, and it's just all blank pages. I'm looking forward to trying out the back page for a pen test because I'm really curious to see how it will respond to all of my normal pens, like a fountain pen and paint markers and maybe even a bit of water for watercolour, because it's 120 GSM rather than the 160 GSM that I'm used to. So I definitely want to try that out and see what it's like, because it might be quite nice to have some thinner paper but still no ghosting and bleeding. So I'll test that out and show you the results. There's a back pocket there so you can fit your Reflect with Raksha stencils in there if you have the trusty grid spacing ruler and all of the other stencils. And the second one is Courage. And it's got these trees there. The artwork is just really nice. I like the idea of having some artwork on the front because it just makes you feel inspired. So that's quite nice. I really like that. The company is based in Australia and they sent me these journals quite a while ago. I just haven't had the chance to share them yet, but I wanted to show you in case you're looking for something different. This could be suitable for you. I tested two different fine liners, a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen, a Tombow brush pen, a jelly roll, a Uniball gel pen, a paint pen, and a watercolour crayon to see how the page responds to water. I also thought it'd be good to see how the paper responds when I draw in pencil and rub it out to make sure the page doesn't have any issues when you rub out pencil lines. Looking at the back of the pen test page, the ink didn't bleed through the page at all. I could just see a bit of ghosting behind the page, and the paper was a bit warped where I applied water. Comparing it to the pen test in my 160 GSM Archer and Olive notebook, There was no ghosting at all in that one. I could only see the Sharpie behind the page, but Sharpies go through everything, so I didn't even bother testing that this time. There isn't any warping in the 160 GSM paper. The ghosting from the pens in the Journalier journal isn't significant, as you can see. It's a lot better than how maybe a Leuchtturm would respond to these pens. So if you want paper that's a bit thinner than 160 GSM and you don't mind a tiny bit of ghosting, this would work well. I also treated myself to a B5 Archer and Olive journal. Look at the colour, it's so nice. Makes me feel really summery. This one's from the spring collection, which was released a couple of months ago, I think. And it's just got a nice design here. I love the sun and the moon and the hand underneath it in the gold foil. And I just wanted to try a B5 journal because I've never actually used one. And I was designing the B5 grid spacing ruler for everyone who wanted a grid spacing ruler for B5 journaling. And I needed to test it out. So I got this one to test it out on. But after I bought this, I was sent by Archer and Olive this really nice leather B5 journal. So I used this to test the ruler on. And this is really nice as well. This one's not actually up for sale, but they sent it to some affiliates who reached a certain threshold. So this one feels really special, like I earned it. But these are really nice and they're so big. It kind of makes me want to use them to make lots of notes, like study something, do a course online, or if I was a student, I think I would use this B5 notebook and make loads of pretty notes on there because it's just so big, so much space on there. I thought it would be actually quite a nice bullet journal as well because you can just fit a lot on the page, and if you have lots of to-dos, or if on your weekly spread you want to include lots of different things like some trackers on the side and the weather maybe, to-do lists, a fun list like I like to do, or a mindful list, a motivation wheel, all of those things that you just like to do in a week, you can fit quite a lot on here. So you don't just have to have one thing, you can have sections for different things in a B5 journal. Oh, one thing I want to check in the B5 journals is my go-to stencils for the month, how they would look. So I have A5 journal stencils that you know I use every month, and I think it'd be fine in a B5 journal. I'll have more space to write my list, my simple things list, and I can spread it out around the page and just have a bigger border around the sides for my artwork, which I usually do like maybe at the top or the bottom or in a strip in the middle, so there's more space for that kind of thing and room for more white space as well, which I like. So I think my stencils will work quite well. And of course, you know that I have a B5 ruler now as well. This is the A5, but I have a B5, so if you have a B5 journal, you can get that now. Next, I have a black drawing pad. So it's like a sketchbook, and it's just pure black, so you can do some really cool stuff on there. I like how big it is. It makes me want to actually sit down and do some proper artwork. And they sent it to me. The company is Ohuhu. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. But they sent me these really nice metallic paint markers with it. So I'm really excited about trying these out because I'm just so into metallic paint markers at the moment, which you saw in my July plan with me. So let me open these up and show you what they look like. Look at those colours. These look like really nice metallic colours. I'm really excited about using these. I have my big Ohuhu black pad and the box of pens. I found the box quite helpful with the instructions on how to use the pens and how long to hold them down for when trying to activate them. Activating the pen felt really easy. I shook it while counting to 10 and then pressed the nib down on a piece of scrap paper 4 or 5 times, holding it down for a count of 3 before the ink started to flow. I sometimes get impatient when activating paint pens, so I have to say that out of all the paint pens I've used, these have been the easiest to activate, and I didn't have any trouble with them at all. The pens were very wet and juicy, so the ink flows out thick and fast, which makes them easy and enjoyable to use. I always wondered how people manage to colour a whole page with a paint pen without getting tired and impatient. With these pens, I think I'd actually be able to do it because the ink comes out really well. The colours are really vibrant and there's a good mix of bright, light and muted colours. They work really well on this black paper. Using the pens on this paper feels really smooth and not scratchy at all. It's kind of a slippery, smooth feeling on the page, which is nice. When paint pens feel a bit scratchy, it makes me uncomfortable. I fell in love with some of the shades, like the green that I used to write with and the bronzy copper. As a company, Ohuhu believe that creativity equals happiness. Well, I can safely say that using these supplies has definitely brought me some joy today. While we're on the topic of paint pens, some of you already know, if you saw my July bullet journal setup, that I got these metallic paint pens from Archer and Olive. So these are really cool. I was so excited about using these pens because the ink it flowed out really smoothly and nicely, and it was just so easy to spread it around the page. I haven't had that with all of the Acrylograph pens. Some of them have been a bit tougher to activate, and even after activating them, it's been a bit tough to get the ink out. But I would say that's probably happened with 1 or 2 pens out of the 5 or 6 sets that I've got. So I've got quite a lot of them, and it's only happened with a couple of the pens. The rest have been fine. But these ones I noticed in particular, the ink flow was just really good, which made it really satisfying to use. And it made my spread really nice and colourful and pretty and elegant in sort of a calm way rather than a bright, bold colour way. So it was really a pleasure to use these, and you'll see from my July spreads that the colours pop really well. So I'll test these on black and craft paper as well, because I think they'll look really good on those as well. So if you want to grab yourself any of these or the Ohuhu paint markers, I have affiliate links in my description, which basically means that you get 10% off, particularly with the Archer and Olive. You get 10% off, and it helps me out a little bit as well, which helps me keep my YouTube channel alive. So for Archer and Olive, use my code Raksha10 and you'll get 10% off. The metallic Acrylograph pens looked really good on my white journal paper from my July setup, and this is what they look like on craft and black paper. Comparing them side by side, I noticed that I definitely enjoyed using them on the black paper more than the craft paper. The colours do still look good on the craft paper, so I think craft paper spreads will still work well with these. They just came out a bit more vibrant and bold on the black paper. Also, the pens wrote really very smoothly on the black paper. The craft paper felt a bit more rough, so the pens felt a bit like they were scratching across the page rather than gliding. Overall, it was good to see how the colours show up on the different coloured paper, and to know that they'll work well on white, craft and black pages, and be really stunning on black specifically. While we're on the topic of Archer and Olive, I also treated myself to these stamps, and I used them in my June setup, my June bullet journal setup, so you'll see what they look like on there. They're really pretty. I've got these floral ones which just make your bullet journal spreads look so pretty really quickly and easily. And if you're not the best with brush lettering, you've got these days of the week stamps, which are really nice. It's got the weekdays and it's got the months and some numbers as well, and some other stamps on the side for checklists and a mini calendar. So that's really cool, and I really liked using that in my June setup. I'll show you some clips of that in this video, but you can watch the full setup on my channel. And yeah, these were so much fun to use. Again, it made me feel like the metallic pens, like an excited child. because they were just so much fun to use. These are from Amazon. They're on my Amazon storefront, which I've linked in the description if you want to look for these blocks. And they're just so much fun to use. So I think I'll be using these a lot as well, because they're just fun. And they look really nice. So I also did a bit of shopping at Miso paper, and they always have such cool stuff there. And there's an Instagram for Miso paper as well, and she shows you, the lady shows you how to use all of the stuff. So that's a really good one to follow. I got these press-on stickers that you put on the page and you press it on with a wooden stick, and it just goes onto the page and it looks like it's part of the page. It doesn't look like a sticker. They're really cool. I heard about them from Tracy, who has the Instagram account Scrap Plan Create. I'll put it up there on the screen for you. And she uses things like this, these flowers that you can just press onto the page, and it looks really cool. So I've got a few different flowers that I'm going to try out. I'm sure these will be in my future videos, so you can see how I use those in my videos. I also got this little box of stamps. And these are just different types of stamps you can stick into your spreads and onto your pages. And these would be really nice for scrapbooking as well. Like if you did a travel scrapbook, having these little stamps dotted around would be really, really nice. A good way of decorating those for your memories, travel memories and things like that would be quite cool. And what else? I also got this material paper, which is a little book full of pictures you can just rip out and stick on. So you just rip it out. My daughter ripped one out already because she saw it, and she's 3 years old and she just ripped one out. So that's what it looks like. And you can just stick it on your page, and it just looks really good. Another good one for a scrapbooking theme that you can use. It just easily decorates the page quite nicely. And then I thought this was really nice. The lady at Miso Paper, she must have recognized my name or something, because she put in a little note saying, thanks for always supporting my business and buying from me, and here are a few extra bits for your beautiful journal spreads, which I thought was just so nice to get a personal note like that, and some little bits that she thought I might like. So she added these to my order, which was so sweet. Things like that just make my day. These days of the week stickers. And she did a really cool thing with the press-on stamps on her Instagram, where she put the flowers on these stamps, so on stamps like this, and it looked really good. So you can do some creative things with simple stickers like this. And these ones, I love these ones. These are so my style. They're like a gold foil press-on sticker, 60 pieces in there, and there's some black ones at the back. So this gold and black will just go with all of my spreads with my black fine liner. I can imagine that just looking so good in a really simple and minimal way. Minimal and simple in the way that I like, where there's lots of white space and it's easy to set up, and you can just enjoy the process of being creative without it being really, really stressful. And I think this will be perfect for that, and it will just add a little pop, which will just look so nice on a spread. And then I added some washi tapes to my order from Miso Paper, and these are just some really nice, pretty floral tapes. I thought with these ones, they're so nice and decorative, you can just use them alone in your spreads. So I did just do that one month. I framed the entire page with this washi tape, and it worked really well. It was just a different look, a nice vintagey sort of look, and it was just easy to do. So you could just stick some washi tape around as a border, and it just looks pretty and nice, and then you can just go about using your spread. It's nice to have some tricks up your sleeve like that, because it is nice having pretty spreads, and it's nice being able to be creative as well, but you don't always have lots of time to set it up, and you want to sometimes have some quick wins that feel good. So stuff like that is really handy. Finally, I have this cool little sticker printer that my husband bought for me. He bought it for me a little while ago, and I only just managed to dig it out and see how it works. It connects up to your phone or your iPad, and you can choose anything from your phone or iPad. So if you've got photos on there, you can pick a photo that you want to turn into a sticker and then just print it out, and it just gets printed out of this printer. So this would be really good for spreads like the vision board that I did in a previous video, where I used my own photos for my vision board to give me inspiration for my future vision. And you can just pick photos from your phone and print them out, and there'll be stickers out of this printer. So it's so easy to use. You can do monthly memories and things like that. Print out the phone photos from your phone that you took that month and do a spread with your monthly memories. So it's really handy having something like this. And it's just fun to use as well. My kids love this. They were there when I was setting it up, and my daughter, baby Ray, she's 3 years old, and she immediately knew how to use it. I even did a reel on Instagram showing how easy she found it to use this. I think she was quicker than I was at figuring it out. So they just come in and print stickers as well for their own notebooks when they want to do their own creative projects. So that's quite nice as well. They really enjoy that. So that's a really good one if you are looking for a sticker printer. I'll leave a link down below. So that's it for my stationery haul. I really had fun showing you all my stationery. So let me know if you enjoy videos like this, because I can do more of them. In fact, I'm going shopping with my friend in a couple of weeks in, I think we'll be in the Soho area where there's lots of independent stationery shops. So I'm sure I'll find some amazing gems there. So if you want to see another stationery haul later, then let me know in the comments down below, and I can do more of these because they are really fun for me as well. So thanks for watching, and let me know what your recent stationery purchase was. I really want to hear about this because I'm just in a big stationery mood at the moment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.